Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. Woohoo! Start of another work week. Hang on here a second. We'll get the screen share going on. And a quick overview here of what we're looking at. I see we've got a couple new people in the room. And people are always curious, what the heck, Eric, you got going on here? This is the complete DTS package along with the Raptor. So what you're looking at here, the DTS package stands for Diversified Trading System. Here in the top left, I've got my my Hawk Scalper. Top right is the Falcon Swing Trader. Bottom left is the Eagle Trend Trader. And then the bottom right is the Raptor. And the Raptor is a hybrid of the other three. It incorporates elements of the Hawk, the Falcon, and the Eagle all into one trading system. I'm also featuring the Bollinger Band suite, which is what we refer to as a system add-on. It's actually not part of the original package, but it is something you can add on. And that is what you see here at the bottom of the charts. You don't need the Bollinger Band suite. It's just one of those indicators that I featured a few months back in one of our Rabbit Hole Friday sessions. And I liked it so much, I just left it on my chart. Okay, the market I tend to concentrate on is the NASDAQ. That's my favorite, my pet market. It's the one I cut my teeth on, if you will. But I'd be happy to feature other markets if you're interested. A lot of people are looking at the E-mini nowadays, or have been for a while. This now your daily NASDAQ chart, and you can see for the better part of a week we've been retracing the same numbers over and over and over, and it looks like, well, at least to start today, it's not going to be any different. So when I'm looking at this chart, what baffles me a little bit is the lack of volume, how the volume is tailing off here. You see, volume was increasing back here as prices were heading lower, and then they seem to be increasing a little bit again as prices were heading lower, but now prices are going up and volume is going down. So that tends to tell you there's not much bullish participation. And yet we've had some very bullish looking bars. We've had some very, very strong rally days there. So right now, I would kind of give the nod to the sellers, I think, just based on the volume profile. And yet the buyers are holding strong. So I guess you can never count one side out of the equation. So far, we are getting that back and forth sideways range going on. And let's see, the trade forecaster says, oh, coming out of scalp mode, moving into trend mode. All right, well, let's see if we get any follow through on that. That would be most welcome. In the meantime, I think I'll just let them settle in here a little bit. We're going to produce a trend change signal here on the Falcon that should lead to there it is, the number one signal going to produce here in the Raptor. We're against the Bollinger Suite. So I think what I would do if I were looking to do this signal, I would look to take it above this high. make the market put in a new high. And let me get my exit orders out of the way. And what that should do is, if the market does breach the highs, it should bring the Bollinger Suite back into sync. Now, it's very early. We're only about 5 minutes into the day. And the market, like I said, really comfortable around the 7,500 zone. It's not finding a whole lot of reason to leave this neighborhood. All right. Well, let's see if they're going to, in fact, challenge the highs. So I'm going to bring my stops up, and you can see the Bollingers did come into sync here. Bollinger Suite. Okay, I'm going to get ready now with my stops. We're looking at a breakout of these highs, and now a little bit of a retest. There tends to be a reaction after you breach a significant support or resistance zone. So don't be alarmed when the market does that. And what I'm going to look for now is the next bullish attempt to resume the trend. At that point, here we go. I'm going to get more serious about bringing my stops up. Oh, they were a little bit too quick for me there. Let's try it one more time. Let's see if we get a little bullish push. Oh, come on. All right, take the trade to break even. No, not yet. Get up there. No. I might have been a little bit quick with the stop there, but when you see the market retest and attempt to go up and then look back again, that always makes me nervous. Oh, and there they go too. They did their little hop up. So turns out I was a little bit quick on that. Oh, all right. So Keith is telling me the September contract has more volume on it right now. So let me adjust my market analyzer. How do I do this again? This was easier to do in Ninja 7. All right, hold on. We'll go to plan B. All right. So bar chart's a great resource for this kind of stuff. And you just go up here and you select your commodity of choice. I've picked the NASDAQ E-mini contract. So we're looking at the June contract versus the September contract. And Keith is right, September is trading more volume right now. Open interest is still higher in the June contract. When is rollover? It's got to be this week sometime, doesn't it? Hold on a second here. Well, we're getting some decent follow through from that little move there. I was definitely a little bit quick on that exit. All right. Good question here from Paul. Paul's asking, good morning, Eric. Well, good morning, Paul. Do you find that on the hawk, the more successful signals come when they pull back to the micro line? All right. So here we've got our hawk micro scalper. And Paul's asking, I think what you're actually referring to is what we call the macro pullback signal, which is this signal right here. And bear with me a second. I'll see if I can't get you the cheat sheet. So with the hawk and all the tools for that matter, but we have what we refer to as a cheat sheet. And 1 second here as it tries to load up. My poor computer's trying to do too many things at once here. Okay, so here is your hawk cheat sheet. These tend to be the 5 highest probability signals on the hawk. First and foremost is the first micro-macro crossover. Very, very high probability signal. And then, as Paul pointed out, the pullback signal. The macro pullback signal, or if you want to call it a micro pullback signal, it occurs when the market starts to pull back. Everything stays in sync except the micro line. The micro line will change color. Your bars remain the same color though. Your filter remains the same color. Your macro line stays the same color. And you produce a signal. But the only thing that changes there is the micro line. Then you have another variation of a pullback signal, which is your 4-arrow consolidation. A lot of times this will have more of a traditional bull flag or bear flag to it, but a sideways congestion works as well. And what will happen is you will tend to get 4 signals, and the market will move off of the 4th signal. This signal is so strong, it's the only signal I will take on a yellow bar with the hawk. Once the hawk starts printing yellow bars, it shows too much neutrality. The market is losing its bias, and so I tend to avoid it unless it's making a 4-arrow consolidation. And then you have the next signal after the 4-arrow consolidation. You can see this one also a macro pullback signal. And then lastly, you have your red bar buy, or in a downtrend, it would be a green bar sell. These tend to develop near the end of a trend. And you can also look to short these. You can take them with trend, or you can look to do the reverse. So you can use this low of this bar as an entry signal to short. And you can see in this instance it actually worked out not too badly. This cheat sheet, by the way, is available at the members area. If you can't find it there, just email me and I'll send it to you. So here you can see we had the first micro macro cross a few minutes after the open. Market goes up, comes back, produces the macro pullback signal, goes up, produces a 4-arrow consolidation and another macro pullback signal. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 signals. And then the market goes up, another macro pullback signal. Now, I will point out that you tend to get 2, maybe 3 good macro pullback signals within a trend. But after that, I start to get a little bit suspect because their market may decide to reverse on this leg. That's not to say it's going to be a full reversal. We're not necessarily changing the whole trend, but that there could be a little bit of a pullback. So we hit the skids here for a little bit, and look at this. We come back with yet another first micro macro cross signal. So everything goes out of sync, comes back into sync, and here we are. So in the hawk this morning, in the span of about 10-15 minutes here, we produced pretty much all our signals and at least 2 or 3 excellent trading opportunities. So yeah, a pullback, I always like pullbacks. The first micro macro cross though, that's one of those signals on the hawk that I will take almost without exception. All right, so the June contract will be expiring this week at the end of the week. So we'll be looking at rolling into the September contract. So it looks like the trade forecaster hit the trend mode pretty much right on the button. Nice little trend mode going on there. And now that it seems as though we have actually a trend today, it should make things a little bit easier. Easier from the point of view that we have a pretty good idea which way the market should be going. I'm hoping that this will not have been the move of the day. That would be most unfortunate. But what tends to happen is that the market will trend and then go sideways for a bit or maybe pull back, and then it will try to trend again. So as traders, if we think the market is going to be in an uptrend, well, now we're in a position where we could essentially, I'm not going to bracket this market, but I could throw a just in case order to buy up here above the highs. The logic being, if the market is going to continue trending, well, it has to take out the high, doesn't it? It can't trend if it doesn't continue higher. If it fails at this point, if it fails to go higher, then there's a very good chance it will start to go lower. So we're going to see that test of the extreme where the market tries to retest the highs and fails. It looks like this. It's your typical 1, 2, 3 top or bottom. Okay, so we're heading higher. I better get an exit order in play. And we'll set that somewhere around the hard edge. I should have a profit order in play as well. So let's see, I got filled at 34. I can't do math this morning. Oh, here, let's go for the 10 ticks. Five ticks or 5 points, pardon me, is our normal target for the Raptor. Okay, so we're about 3/4 of the way to our 5-point target. So I'm going to roll my stops now to break even. I'm going to go for my eagle target. I'm going to go for my trending target, which would be 10 points. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's get that in there a little bit. Don't want to give up too much of that. When you see the market hop like that really quick, I often wonder if that isn't to try to entice a bunch of traders to reach for their buy and sell buttons. It's almost as though it moves in a vacuum, and what tends to happen is that it tends to reverse on itself after a move like that. So that's why I was a little bit faster with my exit order. And we'll see. We'll see if that happens today or if it does continue higher from there. I did make my swing target though. I picked up my $100 per contract, so I'm okay with that. Oh, and oh, they did push on a little bit. There they go. Oh my goodness, we're getting a little bit of volatility coming in here. What's up with that? Not used to the volatility. Market's been so flat or quiet. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a trend change going on here again. The Falcon already a little bit more bearish. The Hawk dipping into those yellow bars. The Raptor and Eagle still full on bullish, and I doubt we're going to see a major reversal at this point, but it looks like we could possibly see a hard edge bounce or a retest. The sellers are stepping up here a little bit, it seems. Oh, well, there's the trend change signal already in the Falcon. If you were anticipating a move back here now to the hard edge of the Eagle, or perhaps even just to this resistance line at 75.30, which you can see is in the same neighborhood. There's your opportunity to get on board with that. The Bollinger Suite already very, very bearish. All right. The Falcon signal kind of progressing here. We're getting a little bit of a pushback. And now we're going to get that test to the extreme. The Hawk is already bearish. If you were looking for an excuse to get short, here it is. You've got your Hawk. You've got your first micro macro cross signal printing right here. I'm a little bit late on it, so I'll kind of look at doing the second push opportunity. Get my exit order out of the way. Turn my chart trader on. All right, so here we go. We got two contracts short, and we'll see whether the market's going to try to trickle down now to that resistance zone around the 75.30 area. I'm going to bring my exit orders in here a little bit. Oh, come on now. Don't stop. Just looking for a little scalp move. And here too, when and if the market can get down to my profit objective, I will look to tighten my stops. Now you can see here with the Hawk trade, we actually have the luxury of more than one contract. So if you wanted to leave a runner in, you could take profit on one contract and then try to run the other one out. Let's see if they're going to allow me to do that. Yeah, I was a little bit late on that signal. I should have, in hindsight, I probably should have let it pass and tried to take advantage of this macro pullback signal. No, they're not going to give it to me. Stinkers. All right, green bar sell, last chance. Okay, so get ready with my break even. If they can breach this 75.34 zone, they will probably entice a few more sellers. So this next signal that's printing will be another first micro macro cross at the same price zone where I entered before. Okay, well, at least we're in the green a little bit. Come on, one more tick. Stinkers. All right, I'm going to give them just that one bar. It did touch here where my 75% zone was. No, they're going to tag me out. All right. All right. Again, I might have been a little bit quick with the stops on that, but the market's kind of bouncing all over the place here right now. So I did not feel like giving them too much leeway. Well, are they going to make another run at it? You can see we produced a number 2 signal right here. We do have a second push opportunity on that number 2. Second push simply means that we allow the signal to engage, we see where the market reacts, and then we use that reactionary bar as our signal bar. No, here we come back with now a number 1 signal. So we're starting to get that little sideways progression, after which we should see a test and a retest happen. And that will give us a better idea which way the market might be leaning. Okay, so we've got the number 1 signal printing, and let's see if we get a second push opportunity off this current bar. There we go. Come on, you can do it. All right, I'm going to treat that as a second push opportunity anyways. And we're going to try to run this one out a bit. So there's a resistance line. Let's see if we can actually do the 2 zones. Swinging for the fences here. So once we breach this high, which is around 75.48, well, actually, you know what? I'm probably looking too high. I'll just go to the next resistance zone. That's probably going to be a little bit easier to manage. Well, we're hovering here a little bit. Come on. All right, here we go. Come on, get up there. Come on, get up there, you. Oh, this is the pause after the rally up. This is that sideways pause that I was talking about before. This actually having a little bit more of a pullback shape to it, a bull flag. And just looking now for the buyers to try to pick up some of that momentum again. If we can get above this little 75-45 zone, it will probably at least come up here to retest 75-48. No. Come on, get up there. The Bollingers are getting very, very weak, which is not what I want to see. They were nice and strong through here, and now it's tapering off. So when and if I can get a bullish bar, or ideally a couple of bull bars, I will start to get much more aggressive with my stops. Right now, my stops are still in their safety net position. And it looks like they're going to lead to a bigger pullback. All right, come on, buyers, where are you? We're kind of alternating bars here. If I can get 2 bull bars, that would be ideal. Otherwise, I'm afraid they're probably going to come down here and retest these lows. What happens when they retest the lows is they'll breach it by a tick or two, and my stops are uncomfortably close for that. I could roll my stops a little bit further so that if it did retest the hard edge here by 1 or 2 ticks, I didn't get stopped out prematurely. But right now, it's really not looking all that promising. Got to see the buyers show up, and pretty darn quick too. Okay, well, there we go. We got a little bit of bullishness showing up near this low. There's the next resistance area that we're going to have to contend with, that little itty bitty trend line. Okay, we breached that. We'll see now how hard the sellers push back and whether the buyers can recover one more time. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to drift in this sideways zone. Well, we definitely got this sideways range going on. And there's a very good chance we're going to test the bottom end of this little trading range. And that does not make me happy because that's going to tag me out. I'm halfway tempted to reverse the position. It's probably not wise, though, given how strong the bulls were to start the day. Yeah, here they go. They're going to tag me out. This is essentially now a really great big number 2 reversal signal. It's not going to print as a number 2 signal because it's just too big, but I think they're going to tap me here on the bottom end. I'll give them a couple of ticks, but it's not going to help. No. Darn it. Okay, well, there you go. It happens. It was a good trade or a good attempt to resume the uptrend, this number 1 signal that printed right here. And I suppose if I had taken profit on target, well, I did get my profit target. I was trying to get cute with the market and run it out. And that led to the reverse and the eventual stop out. So it turns out I might not be as smart as I thought I was. What's up with that? Okay, well, we're back into the hard edge of the trading band, and that should lead to some sort of market reaction. All right, well, we're had a little bit of a bear move, like I said, back to the hard edge. Well, things gotten awfully quiet. Where'd everybody go? Keith, are you watching the September contract? Is it a little bit more active than the June already? Yeah, Keith says no, it's about the same. All right, well, you know, when you get these sideways trading ranges going on, what you want to do is you want to try to identify the trading range the best you can. Now, there's going to be some traders that are looking at the trading range like this, in which case this move here is going to be the breakout. And what you could do is you could place your just in case order to sell below there. There's going to be other traders, however, who are going to view the trading range like this and say that the breakout has not occurred yet. So we've got the downside covered. All right, well, we're kind of testing the top end. Saw a little bit of a bullish pop-up. Probably produced a number one signal. No, we didn't, but we did produce a trend change signal here in the Falcon. Kind of a slow morning overall. We'll hang with them here for a little while still. What I'm waiting on now is we're testing the top end of this trading range. And because we already have an uptrend, what you could do is you could throw your just in case order to buy above this high. Because as I mentioned earlier, we have the uptrend. Now we got the sideways trading going on. We could be looking for another bullish push higher. In fact, I'll stack my trade already. So let's see, 48.75. I would have a target of 58.75. And 26, I would have a target at 16. There we go. All right, so we got our bases covered. We saw the breakout, we saw the retest. The retest seems to have failed, which is making me wonder whether that was the true breakout or not. If we get a couple of bear bars coming off of these highs, off this 75.45 zone, then we can actually tighten our entry order, because that will show us that the market is testing 75.45. It's retreating from there, so we know that's significant resistance. All right, here we go. We're going to check out the top end now. looking at the little bit of a retest that we get after we hit that high. You see what you could do as well to be on the safer side is you could let the market break. This now is the retest that we're waiting on. And if the market continues above the high now, gets above this 75.49 zone, but the lack of upward momentum is a concern. It's the bottom of the hour. There's no reports out at this time. Well, we're leaving trend mode, entering swing mode, and I think we're probably already there. We've certainly introduced a little bit more in the way of pullbacks. All right, there we go. We got a little bit of a bullish push. So here now the retest of the breakout, and we'll see whether the buyers have what it takes to get the breakout going. All right, I think I'm gonna start to bring my stops up. If I can get another bull bar here, come on. Come on. All right, we're gonna roll my stops here to the 75.40 zone. That might be too cozy, but the lack of momentum, as I mentioned earlier, is a bit of a concern. I could go for my swing target, which would put me here around the 75.54 zone, very close to the resistance line that you see. That would be the smart thing to do. All right, let's do the smart thing. So I'm in at 48.75. I need to get out at 53.75. That would be my 5-point target. When and if prices get about 3/4 of the way to my profit objective, I will roll my stops up to break even. And I am doing my best to be patient with this trade, but they are not cooperating. So you can see we're getting pushback again from the highs, from this 75.50 zone. That's leading me to believe that the market's going to make a reverse, and there's our reverse signal right there. Gonna tap me again? I'm afraid they probably will. The Bollinger Suite here, very, very bearish. I've been watching the Bollinger Suite. Usually when it crosses over like this, from the bullish zone to the bearish zone, that's usually my cue to start to bring my stops in, which is why I rolled my stops up here a little bit. And then if I can see a bull bar form here, no, the buyers they've taken an early lunch, I think. If I can get a bull bar to form, I'll start to roll my stops in a little bit more aggressively. You could cover below here, below the second hard edge. I'm opting here for the first hard edge, just because I just don't want to give them too much room. And, oh, they did tag me. Okay. All right. Well, what to take away from that? Well, I've done my 3 trades for the day, and 2 of them have been losers. 1 of them has been profitable. So I'm actually in the red today, but I've met my 3 trade quota. Because I have met my trade quota, but I'm still in the red, I will look at taking another signal to try to get back into the black. Now, it's important that when you're using a trade quota, and if you've met your trade quota and you're in the red, you should have an ouch point, a level where you say, okay, if I incur this dollar amount in losses, I'm going to stop trading. That's kind of your final parachute so that you don't blow up your account. I've shared with you guys before, I have met not one, but two people who have blown up one had a $20,000 account and the other had a $25,000 account. And yes, this is in the past tense. And they blew them up in a single session. In a single session. I don't understand that. I've had days where I've lost over $1,000 trading, but at least I had the sense to walk away from the machine. You know, you're not every day, unfortunately, will be profitable. In overall, you should be profitable, but occasionally there's days like today where you just can't get the market to cooperate, or when it does cooperate, it's short-lived. Like this little red bar buy signal that I was watching here on the Eagle, I should have been watching here either on the Falcon or the Raptor, or even the Hawk for that matter. Because each of those signals, the Raptor signal, the Falcon signal, and the Hawk signal all got profitable. Actually, my Eagle signal got profitable as well, but it didn't look as desirable, even though it did work out very nicely. So just realize there's going to be some days where things are not necessarily going your way, where you may just have a hard time getting a handle on what the market is doing, and that's okay. Try not to get too frustrated with it. But have that safety net, have that dollar amount or percentage of your capital where you say, okay, that's enough. I'm going to go do something else today. Come back tomorrow. If you can't think of a dollar amount, use 5% of your trading capital. If you're trading a really large account, use 0.5% of your trading capital. Those kinds of losses, while unpleasant, are not insurmountable. It's not something you can't recover from in 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days of trading. What you want to avoid is wiping out half of your capital or 25% of your capital. Those are the days that not only are darn depressing, but really, really hard to come back from. So we got a little bit of a double top going on right now, and you can see the market's just kind of waffling back and forth. This breakout should have had more follow through to it. It did not. So we've hit this sideways skid, and we're likely to keep trading between the 75.25, 75.50 zone. Okay, well, here we go again, back in the hard edge. You can see the conflict, though. The Eagle and the Raptor both bullish, or at least moderately bullish. Here, the Hawk just produced the first micro-macro cross to sell. The Falcon, the trend line has already flipped over. It's also trying to get a little bit more bearish on us. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a retest now, a slight retest of the high. Oh, I really don't want to try to short this. I think shorting could be bad. I get the feeling that the market's teeing things up to look really, really good on the short side, and then they're just going to drive it higher again. Here's the daily. You can see the daily, a very, very bullish day today so far. Look at the volume, though. Where's all the volume? Well, okay, sorry. The market is nearing expiration, so let's take a look here at the September volume. It's probably up. No, it's up a little bit, not much. Oh, I broke my charts. There we go. Come on, charts. Oh, yes. Okay, there you go. I forgot all my charts were linked. So everything's changing over now to the September contract. Well, you know what? I've changed it over. I may as well leave it over on the September contract for now. The rollover could be slowing things down a little bit as well, you know that? When you make these changes in your charts, when you change your contract month, remember to save your workspace when you close your chart. That is a slightly different look. We've got ourselves a hard edge bounce signal. September maybe not quite as bearish. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up here for the morning. We'll try it again tomorrow. Again, I think I would be a little bit more bullish than bearish. Well, here, let's do this number 3 signal, and we'll close out after that. Okay, so we've got the number 3 signal, a small second push on that number 3 signal. Let's see if we can't trickle up to find the profit target. No. One more push, and then we're going to cancel this. See, the Bollingers are starting to fade. I don't want the Bollingers getting back into the band. If we get a bullish bar, then the Bollingers will follow through as well. But otherwise, everything's just going to turn more bearish, and that's going to void the buy attempt. Well, if they head lower, we're actually going to end up producing a number 2 signal. Oh, there we go. There's the sell signal. It's not printing as a number 2 signal because the retest is too far removed from the high. Yeah, the lack of commitment here is impressive. All right, best leave well enough alone, and we'll try this again tomorrow. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.